Alrighty, guys. We are going to, in our never-ending quest, to try and actually finish this tutorial series in 2025. We're going to be bringing you another episode here of Dominion expansions as we go through the greatest tutorial series on the internet for Dominion. This is, of course, expansion number 10 called Empires. And so we're going to show you what's in the box, talk about cards and what comes in the box, and then we're going to show you every one of these cards in the Steam app, and then we're going to play a couple games with the cards to show you how it plays with everything. It is without a doubt Empires, and even though it only comes with 300 cards, they went back to a 300 card default expansion. This adds more new cards than every other expansion in the series because it has split decks. It only has 24 Kingdom cards. But it has split decks, it has events, it has landmarks, it has all kinds of different stuff, which we're going to talk about here and show you in this episode. So, let's talk about Empires and let's show it off and show you what you get in the box. Alright, and so here we go. Of course, you get your rule booklet and gives you some nice little combination setups if you're playing with Empires and Hinterlands. You can use the different, things they recommend, and of course all your different overview and talk about each of the different cards and this, that, and the other thing. As you can see, it's not a massive amount of cards, 300 cards, but you do get enough. There are some lovely metal tokens, which I always love the ones with the metal tokens in them. I'm trying to think of anything else. Nope, that's probably pretty much it. Tons of variations on the different cards, so we're going to look at those again in the Steam app. But that's what your game will look like if you buy the boxed edition. Alright, so let's go back to the main screen here. There we go. Bring over my... Alright, so let's talk about the expansion, shall we? Yes, we shall. So, as I already mentioned, it was a 300 card set. So they used to do 300 cards, 300 cards, 300 cards, and then they had some variation of that where they were released in several expansions. In fact, the last expansion had 500 cards in it. They decided to go back to the default 300 cards and make that like the default going forward. This was released in June of 2016, and it was supposed to be a kind of an extension on everything that came before, but specifically the Prosperity group of expansion. So it's kind of like a sequel to the Prosperity, which was obviously very well received. As I mentioned, there is a boatload of different cards in this game, even though it only has 300 cards, because it comes with 12 different there's 12 different cards. I think there's 6 different cards. There's 2 copies of each card in there. It has split cards, so now you have a kingdom that has 5 cards on the top and 5 different cards on the bottom, so they call it a split deck. So you kind of got to go through the top cards to get down to the better cards underneath it. There are 5 different split cards in this. There are 21 different landmark cards. Let's talk about it now. Holy crap. There are duration cards, which appeared in Seaside and Adventures, which was the last expansion we just did. There are events, which were also in Adventures, the last episode we did, which was expansion number 9. And there are debt cards now, so you can take a debt to be able to afford better cards. We'll show you what that does here in a minute. But having a debt token prevents you from buying any cards or events. Besides that, events tokens don't do anything. So basically, when you take a card, you're going to get a debt token for that amount, and you either have to pay that off that turn or next turn or whatever going forward. There are 5 cards that have split cards again, which are going to have some cards, 5 cards on top and then 5 cards underneath it. So again, you have to go through the top 5 to get to the bottom 5. So it can definitely make for a much more interesting game with seeing players kind of compete to try and get through the deck to get to the better cards. It also comes with landmark cards, and it comes with event cards. Same thing goes with events from the last expansion. They're not kingdom cards. You can play with 0 to 2 of them. Landmarks, you can play with 0 to 2 of them. You can do it any number of ways. You can choose to not play with them, or you can add them, or you can randomize. Shuffle them in with your randomizers, and as you're pulling out randomizers, if you pull out a landmark, you use it, or any other variation on that. Landmarks usually have some way to score victory points, and there's going to be 6 victory points on each one per player. So if you're playing with 2 players, it's going to come with 12 victory points on it, and it's going to have a thing, do something to earn victory points off the card. Once those victory points are gone, they're gone. So there's a whole bunch of new landmarks in the game, and I'm trying to think of what else. I mentioned the castles, the events. There are 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 new events. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 different landmarks. 5 different splits, 6 different castle cards, and the 24 different kingdom cards. So there's a boatload of different cards. Again, this was supposed to be kind of an expansion on extension to the prosperity, but this is the most difficult, the most things in an expansion that I can think of right off the top of my head. This is definitely ramping up the difficulty. I know a lot of people think that the base Dominion was way too easy or way too, simple and blah, blah, blah. They have not played with Dark Ages or Empires, because it ramps up the difficulty to the 20th degree with the debt mechanics, the victory points, cards, the landmark cards, the split piles, different engine building opportunities. There's all kinds of different things. So it is not your average Joe, 10 cards out and just play with that like the base Dominion came. This is definitely ratcheted way up in the difficulty. And so let's go ahead and start looking at the cards then, shall we? We will go to... yeah, we might as well. This one? Yeah, that one looks like a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. All right. There we go. All right, so let's look at the kingdom cards first, as we usually try to do. All right, the Engineer. It has the new debt on here, which means you will have a debt of 4. Doesn't cost you anything for this card other than you get a debt of 4. And so you need to pay that debt off. You can pay it off right now, you can pay it off later, whatever, but as long as you have a debt, you cannot purchase cards at all. So, you could spend, let's say you had 6 money. Let's say you had 6 money. You could spend that 6 money on other cards and then buy this one, and then you have a debt, and then you're going to have to pay that off next turn. if you want to purchase cards. So Engineer says gain a card costing up to 4 money. Trash this card if you do gain a card costing up to 4. Again, you have to pay off this debt sooner or later. Next up is the City Quarter, a debt of 8. Gives you +2 actions. Reveal your hand. It gives you +1 card per action card revealed. The Overlord, debt of 8. Action command. Play a non-command, non-duration action card from the supply costing up to 5, but you leave it right there. So basically you get to activate it from its pile, but you don't actually gain the card. The Royal Blacksmith, another debt of 8 action. +5 cards. Reveal your hand, discard the coppers. 2 cost action, +2 cards, +2 actions. You may reveal gold or plunder from your hand. If you do not, set this aside and return it to the supply at the start of cleanup. You can see, just as I talk about these cards and what they do and the different mechanics, these are not just, play a card down and put it in front of you and gain the money on it. This is all about revealing a gold or plunder from your hand. If you don't, then you got to set this aside and return it back to the supply at the beginning of the turn. Plunder, 5 cost treasure, gives you 2 money plus a victory point. Look at that. I think this is the only, up to this point in the game, a victory point treasure card, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but not very often, not very common. 2 cost action, partition. +1 card, +1 action. Reveal the top cards of your deck. If it costs 5 or more, put it in your hand. Emporium, +1 card, +1 action, +1 money. 5 cost action. When you gain this, if you have at least 5 action cards in play, gain 2 victory points. Settlers, +1 card, +1 action. Look through your discard pile. You may reveal a copper from it and put it into your hand. It's a 2 cost action. Bustling Village, it's a 5 cost action, +1 card, +3 actions. Look through your discard pile. You may reveal a Settlers from it and put it into your hand. Castle. 3-point victory castle. Sort the castle pile by cost, putting the most expensive castles on the bottom. For a 2-player game, only use only 1 of each castle. Only the top card of the pile can be bought or gained. So this is, again, 6 different castles. Normally 2 copies of each. If you're playing with just a 2-player game, you're going to have 1 copy of each. And you're going to kind of go from the worst castle to the very best as you go through the deck. Catapult, 3 cost action attack, +1 money. Trash a card from your hand. If it costs 3 or more, each other player gains a curse. If it's a treasure, each other player discards down to 3 cards in hand. Rocks. Now this is the second part of the catapult card. 4 cost treasure gives you a money. When you gain this or trash this, if it's your buy phase, gain a silver on your deck. Otherwise, gain a silver on your deck, on your hand. Huh? Yeah. Just don't put your hand in it. Yeah. Alright, Chariot Race, 3 cost action, +1 action, +1 card revealing it. The player to your left reveals the top card of their deck. If a card costs more, you get +1 money and +1 victory points. Enchantress is a 3 cost action, duration attack. That's what the orange cards are duration cards. Until your next turn, the first time each other player plays an action card on their turn, they get +1 card and +1 action instead of following its instructions. At the start of your next turn, get +2 cards. Farmer's Market, 3 cost action, gathering, +1 buy. If there are 4 victory points or more on the Farmer's Market pile, take them and trash this. Otherwise, add 1 victory point to the pile and then gain +1 money per 1 victory point on the pile. Gladiator, 3 cost action, +2 money. Reveal a card from your hand. The player to your left may reveal a copy from their hand. If they do not, you gain +1 money and trash a gladiator from its pile. Fortune, 8 cost, 8 debt treasure, +1 buy, double your money if you haven't yet this turn. When you gain this, gain a gold per gladiator you have in play. So this is the other part of the gladiator card. So again, you go through the gladiators to get to the fortune at the bottom. Sacrifice, 4 cost action, trash a card from your hand. If it's an action card, get +2 cards, +2 actions. If it's a treasure card, gain +2 money. And if it's a victory card, gain +2 victory points. Sacrifice. 4 cost action, gathering temple, +1 victory points. Trash from 1 to 3 differently named cards from your hand. Add 1 victory point to the temple pile. When you gain this, take a victory point from the temple pile. Villa, 4 cost action, +2 actions, +1 buy, +1 money. When you gain this, put it into your hand, +1 action, and if it's your buy phase, return to your action phase. 5 cost action, duration, archive, +1 action. Set aside the top 3 cards of your deck face down, and you may look at them. Now and at the start of your next 2 turns, put 1 into your hand. So basically, you're going to take 3 cards, set them aside, and then every turn you're going to get 1 extra card. Pretty cool. Capital, 5 cost treasure, 6 money, +1 buy. When you discard this from play, +6 debt. When you discard this from play, +6. Okay. Charm, 5 cost treasure, choose one, either +1 buy and +2 money, or the next time you gain a card this turn, you may also gain a differently named card with the same cost. Crown, 5 cost action treasure. If it's your action phase, you may play an action from your hand twice. If it's your buy phase, you may play an action from your hand twice. Forum, 5 cost action, +3 cards, +1 action. Discard 2 cards. When you gain this, +1 buy. Groundskeeper, 5 cost action, +1 card, +1 action. This turn, when you gain a victory card, you gain a victory point. Legionnaire, 5 cost action, attack, +3 money. You may reveal a gold from your hand. If you do, each other player discards down to 2 cards in hand, then draws a card. Wild Hunt, 5 cost action, gathering, choose one, +3 cards, and +1 victory point to the Wild Hunt pile, or gain an estate. And if you do, take the victory points from that pile. So many good options in this game, tell you. So now we're going to look at all the variations on the castle. We have the Humble Castle, which is the wimpiest, littlest one. 3 cost treasure, victory castle, gives you a money. It's worth 1 victory point per castle you have. The Crumbling Castle, 4 cost victory castle, 1 victory point. When you gain or trash this, +1 victory point and gain a silver. The Small Castle, 5 cost action, victory castle. Trash this or a castle from your hand. If you do, gain a castle. Gives you 2 victory points. Haunted Castle, 2 victory points. 6 cost victory castle. Again, you're going to get 2 of each of these castles. And if you're playing with just 2 players, then it's just 1 of each castle, but you're going to go from the top down to the bottom. You don't get to choose. It's not randomly shuffled or anything like that. You get the wimpiest ones at the top, and you're working your way through the deck. When you gain this during your turn, gain a gold, and each other player with 5 or more cards in hand puts 2 cards from their hand onto their deck. The Opulent Castle, 7 cost action victory castle. Discard any number of victory cards revealed. Plus 2 money per card discarded. 3 victory points. Sprawling Castle, 8 victory castle, 4 victory points. When you gain this, gain a duchy or 3 estates. Grand Castle, 9 victory castle, 5 victory points. When you gain this, reveal your hand. Plus 1 victory point per victory card in your hand and or in play. And last but not least, the King's Castle, 10 victory point castle, where 2 victory points per castle you have. Next up, let's look at the events. You have a Triumph event, which is a debt of 5, so you can get this and just go into debt for 5 to gain an estate. And if you did this, you gain plus 1 victory point per card you gained this turn. Whew. So you're getting victory points, you're gaining estates. All you need to do is go into debt for 5. Another debt 8 Annex event. Look through your discard pile. Shuffle all but up to 5 cards from it into your deck and gain a duchy. 8 cost debt donate event. At the start of your next turn, first put your deck and discard pile into your hand. Trash any number of cards from it, then shuffle the rest of your deck and draw 5 cards. At the start of your next turn, first put your deck and discard pile into your hand. You're going to trash any number of cards from it, then shuffle the rest of your cards into your deck and draw 5 cards. That's confusing, but okay. So now we have a 0 cost advance event. You may trash an action card from your hand. If you do, gain an action card costing up to 6. 2 cost delve event, plus 1 buy, gain a silver. 2 cost tax event, add 2 debt to a supply pile. Setup, add 1 to each supply pile. When a player gains a card in their buy phase, they take the debt from this pile. 3 cost banquet event, gain 2 coppers and a non-victory card costing up to 5. 4 cost ritual event, gain a curse. If you do, trash a card from your hand, plus 1 money per 1 it costs. 4 cost Salt of the Earth event, plus 1 victory point, trash a card from the supply. 4 cost 3 debt wedding, plus 1 victory point, gain a gold. 5 cost windfall events. If your deck and discard pile are empty, gain 3 golds. If your deck and discard pile are empty, gain 3 golds. 6 cost conquest event, gain 2 silvers and a victory point per silver you gained this turn. So silver, 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 you can get 4 victory points. It is going to cost you $6, but 14 cost dominate event, gain a province if you do plus 9 victory points. So you're spending 14, but you're going to get a province and 9, which is going to give you 17 victory points. Costs you 14 money, so whew. Now, landmarks. These are all about getting victory points again. Aqueduct, landmark. When you gain a treasure, move 1 victory point from this pile. Again, 6 victory points per player. Go on there to start. So when you gain a treasure, move 1 of the victory points from its pile to this. When you gain a victory card, take a victory point from this. Set up, put 8 victory points on all the silver and the gold piles. Ooh, yeah. Arena landmark at the start of your buy phase. You may discard an action card. If you do, take 2 victory points from there. Set up, put 6 here per player. Abandoned Fort landmark. When scoring, -2 victory points for each silver and each gold you have. Basilica landmark. When you gain a card in your buy phase, if you have 2 money or more left, take 2 victory points from here. Setup, put 6 here per player. Baz landmarks. When you end your turn without having gained a card, take 2 victory points from here. Setup, put 6 here per player. Battlefield landmarks. When you gain a victory card, take 2 victory points from here. Put 6 per player. Colony landmark. When you gain an action card in your buy phase, if you have a copy of it in play, take 2 victory points from here. Setup, put 6 victory points here per player. Defiled Shrine. When you gain an action card, move 1 victory point from its pile to this. When you gain a curse in your buy phase, take a victory point from this card. Setup, put 2 here for each non-gathering action supply pile. Fountain landmark. When scoring 15 victory points if you have at least 10 coppers. Strategies. Different strategies for sure. Keep landmark. When scoring 5 victory points per differently named treasure you have, that you have more copies of than any other player or died for the most. A Labyrinth landmark. When you gain a second card in one of your turns, take 2 victory points from here. Put 6 per player. Mountain Pass. When you are the first player to gain a province, each player bids once up to 40 debt, ending with you. The highest bidder gets 8 victory points and takes the debt they bid. There you go. Spit it out. Okay. Museum landmark. When scoring, you have 2 victory points per differently named card you have. Obelisk landmark. When scoring 2 victory points per card you have from the chosen pile, setup, choose a random action supply pile. Orchard landmark. When scoring 4 victory points per differently named action card you have 3 or more copies of. Palace landmark. When scoring 3 victory points per set you have of gold, copper, and silver. Tomb landmark. When you trash a card, +1 +1 victory point. Tower landmark. When scoring 1 victory point per non-victory card you have from an empty supply pile. And Triumphant Arch, a landmark. When scoring 3 victory points per copy you have of the second most common action card among your cards. If it's a tie, count either one. Wall landmark. When scoring -1 victory point per card you have after the first 15. So when scoring -1 victory point per card you have after the first 15. Wolf Den. When scoring -3 victory point per card you have exactly 1 copy of. And that is all of the cards, and you saw tons and tons of different landmarks, tons and tons of events, different castles, different kingdom cards. That's why this expansion has so many empires. Let's see if we can do a playthrough here. So the events we have: Alms, once per turn. If you have no treasures in play, gain a card costing up to 4. And once per turn, +1 buy. If you have -1 card token isn't on your deck, put it there, and +1 money. Oh, did I? Yes, I didn't choose the right. How do I exit out of this? I chose the wrong set. Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm not sure why. Don't ask me why. New game. Kingdom. There we go. Empires is what we want to see. All right, play. There we go. All right, so we got a couple landmarks here. Doom. When you trash a card, gain a victory point. And when you gain a card in your buy phase, if you have 2 or more money from here, take 2 victory points from here. And there, right now, there's 12 on there. All right. So we got a 4. We got the 4-3 combo. So I like the sacrifice, trash a card, because that's going to get us victory points. If it's an action card, we can get actions. If it's a treasure card, get money. If it's a victory card, yeah, I think we're going to do the sacrifice. Yeah, that sounds like a good option. He's going to put out 3 and take a catapult. So there you see the combo here. You got to go through 5 catapults to get to the rocks. He bought the first one. And the catapult does +1 money. Trash a card from your hand. If it costs 3 or more, each other player gains a curse. If it's a treasure, each other player discards down to 3 cards. Alright, playing treasures. We have 1 debt card, which is the Royal Blacksmith, which will give us 5 cards. But it's going to put us in debt by 8. That seems like a pretty big amount. Gives us an action, an extra card revealing it. The player to the left reveals the top card of the deck. If a card costs more, we get a money and a victory points. I think we'll just take a silver and see what happens. And what did he buy? He bought a sacrifice. Boy, this guy just copying me. Alright, playing our treasures. We got 4 money again. I think we're gonna... Till your next turn, the first time each other player plays an action card on their turn, they get +1 card and +1 action instead of following its normal rules. At the start of your next turn, you get +2 cards. So you're giving them an extra card and an action, but you're going to gain +2 cards. Doesn't seem that great, does it? Yeah, I have to... I don't think it does. Let's take a catapult. I think that's going to be good. Catapult, and he discarded his estates. We're going to sacrifice... Sacrifice. Right now we have 3 victory points. We're going to sacrifice. What are we going to sacrifice? If we do this, it is a victory point. We'll get victory points. Yeah, we're going to trash this. Yep, so 2 for... 2 for using the sacrifice, and then 1. So we went... right? 2 from this. Oh, we just get the... Yeah, we just get the 2 from this. Right. Okay. We don't get the 1 for trashing it. We get... Yes, I got... Oh, wait, no. When you trash a card, we should have got 1 for this. +3. Oh, it did give me +3. Okay, all right. Play treasures. This gives us what? Trash a card if it costs 3 or more each other player. You know what? We're gonna take another silver. All right. Let's trash in another estates. We're gonna trash this. Cost 3 or more each other player gains a curse. If it's a treasure, they're gonna discard down. Okay, we'll take another silver. Sacrifice. He's going to do a chariot race. Sacrifice. Estates. Player treasures. We're not getting anywhere fast, but we're getting a bunch of silvers, which should be nice. What did he just do? Hang on. Plays a chariot race. Gets an extra action. Reveals a copper, draws a card, reveals the sacrifice, plays a catapult, gains the money, trashes a card. Catapult, discard 2 cards. If I discard those, then I'll have to trash my silver for my catapult. So I guess I'm going to discard those 2. Okay. 5. Now we're getting somewhere. Charm. Choose one. Buy. +2 money. Or the next time you gain a card this turn, you may also gain a differently named card with the same cost. Capital. 6 money. +1 buy. When you discard this from play, you get 6 debt. So it gives you a ton of money, but then you also take a debt. Archive, +1 action. Set aside the top 3 cards of your deck face down. Legionnaire. You may reveal a gold from your hand. If you do, each other player discards down to 2 cards and draws a card. I guess it's +3 money. Yeah, we're going to take a Legionnaire. Chariot race. And he did an archive. Sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice this. We're going to play our treasures. We'll take a gold. Discard 2 cards. Alright, sure. I'll discard this and this, sure. Trash a card. It's an action card. Trashing that's only going to give me 2 money, so Yeah, I guess we'll try it. Let's get another gold, I think, for a Legionnaire. Discard 2 cards. Okay. Play our treasures. Get another gold. Play our Legionnaire. There you go. I, I, I. He's supposed to have 2 cards in his hand. He was supposed to have 2 fucking cards in his hand because I just played. Plays the Legionnaire. And I had a gold in my hand. So he resolves an archive. Set aside the top green cards it was in. Okay, so alright, so he gets a card from that. Okay. Sure. What else has he done? Puts a card in his hand. Then he plays a chariot race. Plus a card, revealing it. The player to your left reveals the top card of their deck. If a card costs more. Oops. We're going to pay off one of the debts, sure. We're going to take that because I want to... So we have 7 debt going forward. Wait. 6 debts. Curse and what's this guy give us? Right. I guess we'll get rid of that. Okay, so we should be able to do this as well. We only have one action, so do we want 5 extra cards? Yeah, I guess we'll take that one. Play all of our treasures. So we have 10 money. We'll buy a province. I guess we'll play this. Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough. I just, to be honest, yeah, I don't believe this programming, this coding is working. I don't know. It just seems like it's broken as fuck. Because he's supposed to be down to 3 cards, 2 cards. He's got 6 cards he's playing every fucking turn. He does it so fast. I don't know. It's bullshit is what it is. Yeah, it's bullshit. So that is a look at Empires. I don't know. I don't trust this at all. I just don't trust it's working. I don't think it's supposed to get rid of cards. It flashes things on the screen, as you can see, so fast. I don't trust it. What the fuck? I don't. And see, I got it on slow animations too. So I don't think there's another way to like slow it down. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So that is Empires with all of its craziness going on. There's this so much to try and keep track of, and like the AI is automatically gaining things and popping shit in there, and does it ever, it never does that for me. So when scoring 15 victory points if you have at least 10 coppers. We're gonna pay off 3 of it right off the bat. Bought another archive. Okay. Pay off all. Oh. Pay all of it off. What's this? If you may reveal gold or plunder from your hand. If you do, set this aside. No. All right. Yeah, we'll buy that. Oh yeah, I done mess myself up by playing this because he discards my cards. I get cards, but I discard a bunch of. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. Let's try that again. Wow, there's all kinds of right. So you could do that and gain a gold. Wow. Mm-hmm. Sure, I'll take one of those. Those look good. Wait, now how come I gotta pay 4? I got this. It costs 3. Why am I paying a 4th? Why do I have a debt of 4? Oh, because I took right. Okay, I got it. Because each of the piles have got. I got it. All right. Add 2 to a supply pile. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Overlord. Discard 2 cards. Hmm. Play the wedding. Play the wedding again. I got 9 money. Six money, huh? Pay off 2 of the debt, that's fine. It's fine. Let's get another wedding. Discard, yeah, it doesn't matter. Discard dues. Pay off. It's going to keep getting those golds and the victory points, so... About a gold, alright. I got a chariot race, to a chariot race, to a bunch of treasures. I'm going to take another province. That means there's one province left. I'm up 52 to 36. Ha 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 ha. I think I'm going to have him this time. Jerk face jerk. Ha ha ha. Unless he buys like 12 fucking things again. Okay, we'll take that. We'll do this. We'll grab this. Discard dues. Play the treasures. Oh, yeah, I dominated him. Just crushed him. Yeah, ha ha ha. Jerk face, jerk, jerk. 59-37. See, I can play. I'm glad I decided to play again now. Alright, well, that is another look at another expansion for Dominion Empires. Whew, God, it's... People that go, oh, Dominion's too easy, they haven't played this expansion. You know, there's just so many things going on, and to be good at this and learning all the different things, you got to play hundreds and thousands of different games to figure out all the different combinations and what works with what and how and where. You got all the different events, the duration events. You have the locations. It's just, there's a lot going on in this one, as you can tell. And just trying to get it all worked out is good luck in trying to figure that out. So, thanks everyone for watching. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button if you enjoyed this tutorial series. And leave a comment down below if you played this one, what you think of it. And, kind of rate what you think of Empires as a whole. Until the next time we meet again, my friends, you take care. We'll see you soon. Until then, Expansion 11 coming down the line. See you then. Take care. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.